Hey, I know after the game, coach said your knee's hurting a little bit. I'm just wondering how you're feeling, and obviously coming off a loss, big home game, and how do you look to respond?
Yeah, it happened during the TCU game. My bum knees were one of the players, and so it's been pretty sore the last couple of days. But it's just something you got to play through. Everybody's dealing with some type of injury nowadays, and so you just got to play through it. Nobody cares if you're injured out there. If you're out there, you got to give it 110% for your teammates.
And how are you feeling now with this matchup looming?
I think the team is pretty motivated to come out there and try to bounce back. We're coming in with the same mentality that we had after the Marquette loss. Obviously, we had like about 12 hours to kind of try to regroup after that loss. But now we have a little bit more time, but still with the same mentality of trying to make one not be two, and just try to end that losing streak right away, because we know how hard this league is and how these losses could compound if we don't get it together real fast.
What were the main things you specifically took away from your performance in the UCF game that you're trying to build on?
Personally, I think for me, just being more aggressive. I think that zone might have took me out the game a little bit, and I think I was just floating out there. I think my team needs me to be a little bit more aggressive, because I can take the pressure off guys, especially when they're trying to take out one and be aggressive with the guards. I think I can be that pressure release and that person that I can take a lot of pressure off them.
And Coach Self said that even the first half of that game, when things were going well and you weren't really in foul trouble, you still felt like you were wavering a little bit. I mean, have you improved since then? Do you feel like you'll be restricted in some way for this next game?
I mean, it does hurt a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like I'm pretty resilient. I'm definitely gonna play through it. I think what limited me the most was probably the fouls. I just gotta be smarter out there, especially when I get one, to make sure I don't get that second one, because I can't put my team in that position. I think that's the biggest thing that I regret in the game, and the reason why the game turned was because once I get in foul trouble, we were up 16, then they go on that run and cut it to 8 at halftime. I think if I would have been smarter and stayed in the game, I think we could have prevented that. But that's something that I've known since I was young in college. It feels like forever ago, but I just try not to get in foul trouble, because I know I'm an asset to the team, and just trying to stay out there as much as I can for my guys.
Do you think, is this the thing that could linger all year? Do you think it's just maybe something that's going to set you back maybe for a few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple things that have been bothering me, but like I said earlier, I don't think there's a player in the country that is perfectly 100% playing right now. So, I think ibuprofen's my friend right now, and BioFreeze. That's always been my friend since I've been in college. So yeah.
I know you spoke really highly of Juwan since he's been here. Just now that you've been playing with him, how much pressure do you feel like is put on him right now?
I think there's a lot of pressure put on him. I think sometimes it's unfair, because I think some people kind of expect things out of DeJuan that's not really what makes DeJuan great. What makes DeJuan great is leading the team, being a facilitator, making other players great. Obviously, he's very capable of scoring. He showed that versus Kentucky, but that's not really what DeJuan wants to do. He wants to make the other players better. And so I think, as a team, we need to make sure that we're trying to make him a star, and helping me personally, just helping him set better screens so he can get open. Other guys making shots that he's doing, or just making it easier for him to be able to see guys. I think that's what we need to do. I think a lot of it's unfair criticism of Juan. Juan's not going to be a guy who's going out there scoring 20 every game, but he's going to come out there and make the teammates better, make our team better, and I think that's what he's been doing. But the team needs to do a better job of helping him out.
And you mentioned the zone defense earlier. Seeing it in a game like that, in a road environment like that, how do you feel like that could help you if other teams try and do that against you guys?
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably expect other teams to do that now, because that kind of flustered us a little bit. But I think we made some adjustments, and I think we're more ready now for a team to do that. It was surprising, I think, for the guys how much we struggle with it, because in practice we do a really good job of moving the ball. And I think just the way they guarded it, they were really high on the wings, and that kind of disrupted us from getting the ball where we want to get it to. And so now that we're kind of more aware of that and we've had some time to kind of adjust to it, I think we'll be more prepared next time.
Hunter's small sample size in league play, but back-to-back games with a lot of turnovers, 18. What's your thoughts on that and how we can lower that number?
Yeah, I think, you know, we played two really feisty teams, two teams that really try to attack the ball. But, you know, I think that's kind of being the theme now in the Big 12 that I've seen is, you know, a lot of teams are really aggressive out there and trying to make it, you know, an up and down game. And I think that's something that Coach always preaches is protecting the ball, taking care of the ball. That's one of the, you know, main things that he says are the keys to winning the game. And so for us, you know, just trying to go out there and really be precise and just not really on our heels, but just being aggressive and confident. And then also just, you know, making sure that we're making the right play and not trying to do too much.
Thoughts on Oklahoma? Actually, the last time out of 100 meetings with these guys in Allen Fieldhouse, surprise team in the country. What do they look like to you?
Yeah, they're a really good team. I think the thing that jumps out to me the most is, you know, the coaching and the system that he has. It's very complex, but also some simple. I know that really might not make sense, but I think, you know, he's got a lot of actions, but I think it comes down to really just, you know, our guys guarding their guys. That's pretty much how basketball comes down to anyways, but I think specifically in this game, it's just a matter of, you know, trying to take away some strengths for them. I know, you know, they got a really good point guard who's, you know, really good coming off ball screens. They got a couple good bigs. You know, we're going to learn more about them as the day goes on, just continuing to dive into film. But I know they're really well coached, very aggressive with the scoring. They got some shooters, they got some good big men, and so I think it'll be a really good test for us. And if we were able to win the game tomorrow, it'll be a really good bounce back win for us.
Got time for a couple more.
Hey Hunter, I know you guys have a lot of veterans. Who would you say is the loudest or most vocal in terms of leadership on this team?
I think it's a mixture of all four of us. I think, you know, all four of us know when things are going sideways, and I think we all do a good job of speaking up. So it's not just one voice that everybody's hearing. I think, you know, Juan does it, Kev obviously does it, KJ does it. I think all four of us do a good job, but I do think we can do a little bit better of trying to bring guys individually along, and that's been stressed and emphasized the last day and a half. And so I think, you know, we're kind of trying to do that now to where we're bringing guys individually on, trying to coach guys individually, and just trying to, because, you know, it can be hard hearing a coach's voice all day yelling at you. And so if a player comes to you, you know, in a different voice and a different mindset, you might react differently. That's just how guys are wired. And so just trying to do that, trying to, you know, help the team out any way we can.
You're talking the rest of the rotation, you the core four, bringing the other guys along. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but
Okay.
also coaches, you know, try to bring the onus on us to kind of, how you go, the core four, kind of trying to coach ourselves and kind of hold ourselves accountable as well, because, you know, we're not perfect as well. We have our flaws and our mistakes, so trying to hold ourselves accountable as long as holding the others accountable as well.
Are you limited in practice at all?
No, I was out there 100% today.
And which knee did you hurt? Or do you not want to reveal?
I don't know which knee it is.
And what about,
Both of them are sore.
okay, what about all the upsets this week? Have you watched any of them, and what do you think of that?
Yeah, you know, we were definitely watching the Houston game, the Purdue game. I was watching for sure. Both those games, it, you know, it was pretty. We were watching them. I was like, dang, well, you know, everybody's losing on the road. Let's try not to make it us, but, you know, I guess, you know, that was foretelling what was going to happen the next day. I think, you know, it's hard to win on the road nowadays, especially right when conference play starts. You know, teams are pretty good around the conference. I don't think there's, you know, one team that's really standing amongst the rest. I think there's a lot of good teams right now. I think anybody can be beat on any day. I think you're seeing that throughout the college landscape, and so I think it just comes down to which team is the most ready, and which team is going to grind, and which team is going to be persistent and follow their team's game plan the most. So yeah, I think, you know, there'll probably be a lot of upsets this year. We're just gonna hope that, you know, it's not us out there.
Hey, Hunter, Kansas basketball has maybe a cult-like following. I mean, it's obviously it's a passionate fan base. I don't know if you see, there tends to be a lot of maybe overreactions with a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering, inside the locker room with you guys, with the coaching staff, what's it like when you lose a game, when you're up 16? When you see the reaction outside, what's it for you guys? What's it like, knowing that you guys have a chance to bounce back and the world's not going to end tomorrow?
Yeah, I think, you know, for me personally, seeing people get upset with my play is not new to me. I think you know, there's not really many things that can be said that would be new that I haven't heard yet about my game. You know, it might be different for, you know, the younger guys and stuff like that, but I think anybody can understand how bad of a loss that was for us. I think for me personally, I don't know how the rest of the team feels. It wasn't more, you know, losing a UCF. You know, obviously they weren't picked to win the conference by, you know, a lot of people, but I think it was more of losing up 16 on the road. That's a game that's kind of what hurt me the most. Was we had him up 16. I think that foul that I had probably was the biggest regret of the game. I still go back to that and wish that's the one thing I could take back, and I feel like if I could have that foul back, I think just the game would have been different. But, you know, up 16 on the road, we got to be able to come out with that win. You know, we got to be able to execute better. That's, you know, especially having a coach like Bill Self, you know, we gotta follow that game plan a little bit more. You know, we should never lose a game with him coaching us like that. And so, you know, that kind of taught us a lot. But we know we dropped one that we shouldn't have, and that's gonna, you know, set us back a little bit. But you know, we have an opportunity to play the rest of the teams, and you know, I think that game, it can either be something that can really help us or really hurt us, and I think we're going to figure out tomorrow which one that is.
All right, thanks, Hunter.
Thanks, Hunter.